Welcome to another live stream. Today, I'm going to cover a topic that a lot of people actually don't talk about too much, about how important it actually is to be able to engage your lats on demand, right? Because a lot of people when you see a bodybuilder do the lat spread and he's trying to flare out his wings, those are your lats, right? And it's actually very important to know how to properly engage those things. So today I'm going to be covering the best way and best cues that I've found over the years in order to actually engage your lats properly, right? Because in order to engage your lats, even when I did the foam rolling video, the mobility build video about the rotator cuff release with the foam roller, I mentioned in that video to externally rotate your arm. Okay, and reason being, your lat will actually go on when you externally rotate. So even when you're doing a pull-up, you're actually thinking of kind of corkscrewing from the elbow, because you can't just be letting the wrist go. The whole elbow and shoulder joint has to externally rotate with it in order for you to engage your lat. Now, if you actually put your hand just like kind of where your armpit and your tricep, below that where it goes, where your lat would be, put your arm in front of you, and then you externally rotate slowly and keep externally rotating until you eventually feel your lat actually fire off, okay? So why this is important is because your lats serve as the protector for your lower back, along with your core and your glutes, of course. But, one of the missing components, which actually happens to be a very big muscle, is lat engagement, right? If the stronger your lats can be, the more protection your lower back has whenever you're dealing with a barbell, which is why we brought our trusty broomstick once again today, because this is essentially the drill that I teach everyone when I'm teaching how to do a proper lat engaging brace, I'm gonna call it, on any barbell movement. So it doesn't matter if you're squatting, you're deadlifting, you're bench pressing, and it's not even just barbell movements, it's compound movements across the board. Because whenever you have to squat, whether or not you have a barbell or a dumbbell or just squatting in general, it's always a good idea just to kind of brace your lats and keep them, strong. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your stick, your dowel, whatever you can get that's, a reasonable length. It could even be a shoehorn. My shoehorn's huge. But you're gonna put it in front of you with your hands just outside the shoulder width apart, okay? Because that tends to be where the most, the power position for most people. And all I want you to think of doing is trying to break this stick in half, okay? So you can notice from how I'm doing it, I'm breaking from the elbows and I'm actually trying to get my shoulder joint to go. Of course, you're putting the wrist motion in it because you don't want too much elbow without wrist. So you're trying to move with your wrists, but the primary movement is actually coming from the elbow, the shoulder joint, right? You're trying to externally rotate your arms, then the elbow, then the wrist. So if you're thinking of that in that sequence, what you're essentially doing is you're engaging your lats, right? Now, why is this important? I'm gonna start in this position because this is kind of like a bench press, right? You're thinking of bench pressing. Now, before the bar descends, you have to think of breaking that bar in half in order to engage your lats. So now the descent is that much more controlled because you don't have to put so much emphasis on your core or your glutes or your hamstrings or where your foot placement is, which you should regardless, but having your lats on is going to be that support system of you descending the barbell, right? Now, when you're pressing, you can't now let loose of the lats. You got to keep tension throughout the whole barbell bench press. But at the bottom, you're thinking of breaking even more and getting your lats to really fire off as you push that barbell up, okay? Now, in a deadlift, if we were talking barbell deadlift here, right? If I'm here, I'm still thinking of breaking the bar in half, right? So if you look at my elbows, from my elbows, I'm thinking of breaking that bar in half, and my lats are fully firing up, okay? And that's also gonna help you to keep better posture up top. But again, its primary kind of focus here of this live is for your lower back. So when you're going to deadlift, you're breaking that bar in half, those lats are fully engaged, your spine is neutral, and now you're pulling it up with your glutes and your hamstrings. So, your upper back is just, it's only, upper half rather, its only kind of job is to keep tension, right? Now, if you think of your squat, you're not necessarily going to be breaking the bar in half like this, but you're breaking the bar on your back. And again, it's coming from the elbows because you're thinking of pulling your elbows down, right? And that puts you in a more of an externally rotated position in regards to your shoulder joint because you're kind of trying to tuck your elbows underneath and you're breaking that bar on your traps, right? So now you're getting all of this support from your lats as you actually drop down into that squat. So yeah, this dowel serves a whole bunch of purposes, but I figured I'd go through, kind of the basics before I go into the advancements of barbell. There's a bunch of cues. This is just one of them. I don't want you to think that the lats are the say all be all. I'm just saying that in my years of experience, a lot of people, more people than do not know that you can actually control your lats and engage them on demand, right? And it's very important. Going back to my other example that I always use, even picking up groceries, right? When I go to pick up my groceries, even if I'm falling into a proper hip hinge, I'm actively thinking in my mind to engage my lat. So when I pick up that grocery bag, there's less likelihood of it going to my lower back. So yeah, that's today's live. For those of you that tuned in live, I hope you got value and God bless you. For the rest of you, I do hope you catch this live stream on the replay because this one is something, again, that is very, very important. It's not the say all be all, but is one of the main components of not only having, good lifts and being injury free during your training, but also just living like a healthy and happy life, right? But for now, Coach Cruz is logging off. I got some phone calls to make. I will see you guys on the next one. Peace, love, and all the proteins. May the gains be with you.